Hey Dollyland! So today I am working on something completely different. Not a corset. This is a wrap. Oh, I should have grabbed a finished one. If you've ever checked out my Etsy shop, you've probably seen listed in there a doll, like a travel wrap to wrap your doll up and protect it when you take it somewhere. That's what I'm working on. I got an order for one and it was supposed to be in stock, but apparently I already sold this pattern and I did not realize that was my last one and forgot to update my shop. So I am now having to quick make another one. I'm just turning it inside out now, or right side out. So yes, I had to make up a new one, which was fun because I haven't made one in like 2 years or something, 2.5 years or something. So I had to really dig in my closet to find all of my supplies. So, but found it all and got it sewn together. So not quite done turning it here, but basically it just after I get this turned and get the edge sewn up, then, oh shoot, I did it on the wrong end. That's alright though. Then one side gets folded and also these edges down, so this is what the finished thing is basically going to be. But so then you take it and you tuck your little doll inside there, so the end's shut so their shoes and their wigs and stuff don't fall out, but you tuck your doll in there and then you just roll it over, and there's some ribbons here that you wrap around and tie into a cute little bow, and it protects them very well. It's super squishy. I use it's flannel on the outside and this ultra cuddle. Hey, Zoe, stop! Damn cat. This ultra cuddle fabric inside. I think this is called Ultra Cuddle. I don't know what it is really, but it's super plush. And then there's a super thick layer of batting in the middle too. So, so this size is for teeny tinies, but it's also works great for heads. My you sitting right here, so 2 heads actually fit in here. You can do like 2 SD heads side by side, and then after you roll it up and tie it, the ribbon goes right between the 2 heads and keeps them from knocking into each other. So anyways, hi cat. Working on that. I need to get this in the mail by morning, so I have already requested the postman come pick it up, so need to get done. It just take 15 minutes of hand sewing or so is all I got on it, so no problem. But anyways, you're so cute. Okay, yes, rubbing on. She's so cute, but so in the way. Okay, right. So I have been struggling today and yesterday. I pretty much went through the whole of yesterday with an anxiety attack, and a good portion of today as well, so that's been fun. Yeah. My anxiety is kind of weird, and in a way I'm really fortunate with it because it's mostly physical, which is, I don't know, it's kind of weird to explain, but like, you know, when you have an anxiety attack, there's a lot of physical things that go on. Well, let's say your, but mine anyways, I don't know about, you know, everybody else's experience, but my heart will race. I get this feeling that I just, like, things need to be done, and they need to be done now, and it's just now, has to happen. And it's very much this very physical feeling of just being rushed, and yeah, so my heart just races, and I just feel like panicky and rushed. But fortunately, where I'm saying I'm fortunate is that I don't have any like mental processes that are going along with that are that I know a lot of people do experience. I don't have any kind of a I don't know. There's no thoughts accompanying all that. That's feeding into it or triggering it or what. I don't know how to explain it. I'm not like when my husband is having anxiety problems. He very much does this whole catastrophizing, and like every little thing that's wrong in his head, he just gets totally stuck on it and on how this little thing that went wrong is going to become a huge thing and snowball, and just every little thing is, he catastrophizes and turns into a big huge thing. And so his anxiety is there's a lot of thought processes going on that not only cause the anxiety but really feed into it and cause this whole loop. So I don't have that, and I think that's really fortunate. However, it is still really difficult to deal with. It's very exhausting. I mean, just the physicality of your heart just racing all day long is exhausting, and you're fighting your body is like fighting itself. You're fighting your brain, and it's just exhausting and no fun at all. So that was a good portion of today and most of yesterday. However, I did somehow still manage to be pretty productive, so that's awesome, because a lot of times when I'm having bad days for anxiety or depression or both, I just like can't do anything. So yes, fortunately, I somehow did manage to be quite productive. I got that big commission that I've mentioned a few times now, which was, oops, that just pulled right through, which was 2 full body blushing and a head, and they had to be done by the end of January. And fortunately, I did give myself a little buffer there, because I had it in my head that they had to be back in the customer's hands by the end of January, but when I went back and checked the order when I was freaking out about running out of time on it, I realized that I was supposed to have them done by the end of January, not done and shipped. So that gave me a little, let's say a little time to relax, but not relax really, but I was kind of freaking out about getting them done, because it's just, I mean, it's certainly not a problem to get things done in that amount of time that I allowed myself, but the more pressured I am that I have to get something done by a certain time, then like the less interested I am in actually doing it. It's like I have a deadline, and then my brain just rebels and says, "Fuck your deadline," and I'm a really bad procrastinator, and maybe that's, I don't know, maybe that's related, and just as soon as I know there is a deadline, I just subconsciously rebel and don't want to do it. So, which is really bad, because I also tend to not get a lot done until there is a deadline looming over me. So it's kind of weird. maybe that's kind of a catch-22. I can't work unless the deadline is looming, but if the deadline is looming, then I don't want to work. So yeah, it doesn't really work. Doesn't really work out. So anyways, I got them done, and the customer is happy with them, so they will be back in the mail tomorrow, just in time for my end of January deadline. So those are done, and then that wig, the Weird Al wig that I showed you in my last video with the mohair fiber that I'd been having so much trouble with, that is pretty much done. I cut and styled it. Problem is, I'm not a hairstylist. Yeah, I don't really know terribly well what I'm doing with cutting and styling hair, so it's been a little challenging to get the style down right on this wig. It's not the easiest of fibers to work with for, I mean, it's just super curly and wants to do its own thing, so yeah, I'm sure all you girls with curly hair know the struggle is real. So and I mean, I have very little curl of my own, so it's not a problem I'm used to dealing with. So yeah, I'm fighting a little bit with the wig, and maybe I should have brought it over, but yeah, I think I used too much fiber to begin with, so it's just kind of too full, so it's really kind of like extra poofy, trying to get it to lay down to where it should be. And so yeah, I got it cut, and then I had to get the curls to really clump together nicely and not spread out. I had to really really drench the wig pretty good, and then let it air dry. So there's this waiting game again where I gotta do one step and then wait and wait up before I can move on. So, but I got the wig, so I got it cut and took the first crack at styling it. I had to wait like overnight for it to dry, and then I decided that it was kind of too full, so I went back in with a razor and started thinning it a little bit, thinning the hair out, which worked pretty good. But then the more and more I handled it, the fluffier it got again. The cat, Pooh, you are adorable, but you are really in the way. So it got really fluffy as I was handling it, and the locks kind of all, broke up again. So then I had to re-drench it and let it dry again, and so now that it has dried again, I think it's good. I just need to pop it back on the head to double check, make sure the style is good and everything. But now I'm finishing off the painting, so his eyebrows are wet and his eyelashes are wet, and just waiting for that to all dry so I can get him all final, get gloss and lashes on and get him done. So, but anyways, those are the last couple of commissions that have been. Ooh, clumps of cat hair floating in the air. This cat sheds like a beast. So those are the last two commissions I've got that have been that are kind of really behind on. I had like a couple of weeks that I didn't really get any, or didn't get very many orders in. So, which is nice now. I mean, it wasn't nice at the time because I had like, a couple weeks with pretty much no income. But it's nice now because I'm jumping from being having a 4-week wait to all of a sudden the next commission is only 2 weeks out. So, I mean, it's 2 weeks out now, so by the time I get it done, it'll be 3 weeks. But still, it's a chance to get cut up a little bit. There you go. Ooh, you had something sticky on you. Now I have something sticky on me, which all of your hair is now stuck in. Blah. Ooh,